Hey everybody, this is Bruce, and thank you for subscribing to my channel and supporting me in my channel on Patreon called My Philippines Life. So, my first video in this series was called Are You Ready? And it's about getting your mind ready, getting your everything ready to make the decision to move to the Philippines. And also, what it was about just all the little nuances about moving to the Philippines. My second video was more about, what should I pack? What do I take? How do I physically prep now that I've already made up my mind to move to the Philippines? What do I need to do now? Okay. And then it talked about a little bit of banking. This video, I want to talk about your personal finance. And I want you to keep in mind that this video, it's a grown-up conversation, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so if you're the type of person that gets easily offended by derogatory terms or any type of, maybe something could be misconstrued as insulting or hate speech, then please turn this off right now. Do not watch this video. Another thing is that this video is based 100% upon my personal experiences here in the Philippines. All right, so on that note, let's begin. All right. So, when you finally get to the Philippines and your banking's in place and you've got everything figured out, you got your money coming into the United States, and then you're transferring using Remitly to GCash, and then GCash you're using as your purchases. Then you've got your GCash credit card. Then you got your Philippines bank going for your savings and CDs and all that, right? Now, you've got a handle on your money at this point. Now, what you need to do is you need to learn how to protect your money. So I'm going to give you a few tips, okay? And this is just based on my experience, and I want to just give you a little bit of a backstory, okay? Okay, so my story is, I was in an LDR for 3 years, and I was just like in love with the person I thought that I was in love with. Okay, and it turned out to be just a big facade, a big Oscar-winning act. And what it did is that this person over time came to, of course, through my divulgence, came to realize how much money I was worth in my monthly retirement. And I'll tell you, it put a big fat target right on my back, and she came gunning. And everything you could imagine, she used her 5-year-old daughter as a tactic. It really started tugging on my heartstrings. So once all that strategy was in place, then the ask began. It began that, my dad is out of work. He can't afford our power bill. Can you help out? I need, 2,000 pesos. Or my daughter, needs some dental work. Can you help me out with 1,000 pesos? I need some medicine for my daughter. It's 3,000 pesos. And it kept going on and on and on for years. Then it came time for us to finally meet. I finally came to the Philippines and we met, and everything was okay. There was the underlying turbulence of money, the underlying financial turbulence, like, what have I been giving you all this money for, right? And you're still needing money. You're still asking money, So we planned a vacation to an island. It was me, her, and her daughter. And then she said, well, my brother can come and he can be our babysitter. So if we want to go out at night and have a good time, we have a babysitter. I'm thinking, all right, sounds fair enough. I met her brother. He's really cool. So then as time grew, it was like the brother, another couple were coming. There were like 7 people coming. And so then I asked one day, I said, so I get all these people coming, but who's paying for it? And she's like, oh, baby, we're just poor people. We don't have money. In other words, you're paying for it. And I said, I am not paying for these people. I don't even know these people. I'm not paying for these people. And it created a big shitstorm, you guys. It created a big shitstorm. Finally, a lot of the people that were going to go canceled because not that they didn't have the money, they didn't want to pay for it. They wanted me to pay for it. Long story short, we get down to the vacation island, 6 or 7 people with us at this point. You know, we finally made it down there. And so, you know, it was just it was a mountain home, you know, no plumbing, all that stuff. One day we're talking and she's talking about, you know, how she had stopped making mortgage payments on her house because she didn't have the money. And then her and her mom asked me one day, she said, well, are you going to pay for the balance of the house? I'm like, what? What? Am I going to pay for the balance of the house? They said, yeah, to pay off the house. And I'm like, how much is it? And they said, it came out to like 19,000 USD. And I'm like, what the F? Are you kidding me? And it was like a big blowout. I said, I am not buying this house. I said, first of all, this house needs so much work. It's not even a finished home. It's got mold in every corner and dripping down every wall you can imagine. There's no plumbing. There's spiders the size of footballs. If I was going to buy a house in the Philippines, this would not be the house I'm buying. Time goes by, so now things are kind of settling down a little bit, you know. And we're there like a few days at this point. And so I said, why don't we go into town and have a dinner, me, you, and her daughter, 5-year-old. And so we got dressed up really nice. We took a jeepney or a tricycle into town. Town's really cool, kind of like a 70s Key West type feel, you know? And so we went out to a nice little dinner, had some ice cream, walked around the town, and time to come home. And she said, all right, so we need to stop at the marketplace. And I said, why are we stopping at the marketplace? She said, well, I have to buy food for the family. So we go to the marketplace, and she's like buying up a storm, you know? She is buying up a storm. And when it came time to check out at the very first market booth, I'm just standing there looking around, and she goes, babe, I need 800 pesos. I'm like, what? Don't you have money? She goes, no. I said, what about the family? They asked you to pick up food for them. Didn't they give you any money? She's like, no. You guys, you see where this is leading? All right, so we ended up coming back to, after that trip was over with, we ended up coming back to Santo Tomas. And I was staying in a nice hotel, and she was staying with me. Then, you know, it turned into meeting her family more and just more and more, and it was ask. And finally, I had to address her with family members, and I said, look, my money, I said, I worked my entire life for my money. I worked at jobs that I liked. I worked at jobs that I hated. I went to work when I was sick. I went to work when I was injured. And then my military money, it's like, I bled for that money, you know? I was injured for the money that the government pays me. And I said, but this is my money. I've worked for it. I bled for it. This is my money. That's why it's in my bank account and not your bank account. And I said, do you understand me? I said, it's in my bank account, not your bank account. This is my money. You seem to think that you're entitled to my money, and you're not. I said, the only person that might be entitled to my money is so-and-so, because we may be getting married in the future. Now they're realizing that I'm not so much of a pushover. Long story short, I ended up proposing, you know, and even with the red flags, I proposed. So I came back to the States for a couple months, then I ended up moving back to the Philippines here full time after a couple months. And she helped find a nice house for me, dumped a lot of money into the deposits, and then I started sending her money. She's like, baby, we need a refrigerator, we need air conditioning, we need this. Sure, what do you need? Okay, here's 20 grand, here's 40 grand, here's 10 grand, 20 grand, 30 grand, 5 grand. You know what I mean? And it's ongoing. Now, I come back to the Philippines, she picks me up at the airport, and we come home to my new home. There is absolutely nothing done. There's one bed. There's one rickety old iron bed with a like 2 inch. It was like sleeping on a jailhouse bed. And I'm like, where's all the money that I sent you? Tens of thousands of pesos I sent you. Where is that money? I don't know. That was her best answer. I don't know. I know you're shaking your head right now. You say this guy's an idiot. But the things we do for love, right? So time goes by. Now I'm having to purchase over again, spending money for air conditioning and beds and refrigerator and kitchen items and furniture, and it just put me so far in the hole financially, you know. So then time's moving forward. Keep in mind that this time frame, from the time I landed in the Philippines to the time that she finally got put out of my life, was only about 3 months. But there was a huge financial wreckage within that 3-month period. You know, time's going on, and she's like, you know, hey, my auntie's out of work. She could use some money to help with her power bill. I said, how much? She goes, 1,800 pesos. I'm like, okay, I'll help her out, you know. Or once again, my parents, their Wi-Fi is out, they need help. 700, 2,000, 5,000. Then I'd give her money. She'd say, well, you know, I need 5,000 for whatever. And I'd say, all right, I'll send them Gcash. No, I'm going over there right now. I'll give it to them. I'd give her 5K. She'd be gone for like 3 days. No text, no call, nothing, gone. Another time I gave her another chunk of money. She was gone for like a week, no call, nothing. Then she text messages me. She's from like 3 hours north of Manila. And she says, I want to come home, but I can't afford to come home. What do you need? I need 3,000 for the driver. I'm like, I don't care. Whatever it takes to get you home, I'll pay it. So she took a private car here, 3,000, and I had to pay it. As time goes on, I learned that you can take one of those tour buses, one of those big, beautiful tour buses, from here to Manila for 100 pesos. What did I pay 3,000 for? This kept going on and on and on until I realized one day that it was all going to drugs. That chapter closed, but it cost me a lot of money. It basically bankrupted me, you guys. I'm telling you this story. Some of you may laugh at me, some of you may criticize me, some of you may empathize with me. The fact of the matter is I'm sharing with you this very difficult story for a very specific reason. The reason I'm sharing this story with you is to hopefully prevent you from making the same disastrous mistakes that I made. Okay? It's exhausting just to even talk about it, you guys. So listen, there's things I want you to remember. There's things I want you to consider when you come to the Philippines. Things not to do with your money, okay? Number one, don't flaunt your money. Don't flaunt your money, right? All these, you know, and keep in mind, I'm not insulting an entire culture of Filipinos. This is a very small sect of people that are the grifters, you know, that they have perfected the art of the grift, you know. And if you think they don't know about you, believe me, they know. They know when you get your checks. They know Americans get their checks towards the end of the month and the first of the month. They know. They can time it, because when they observe you and they see you flush. You're in town. You're buying drinks. You're buying bottles for different people. You're shopping at the mall. You're at the grocery store. They see you. They know you're flush. And they know he's got money. Then as the month goes by, you're simmering down a little bit, you know, staying closer to home. You're not out in public as much. Then they know you're out of money, or money's getting lean. You know what I mean? So they can read you, my friend. They can read you, and they read me like a book. And so Don't flaunt your money because they know when you're flush. They know when you're not. When you go in public, in America, we always get our money. We always organize our bills: 50s, 20s, 10s, 5s, 1s. I like to put them all in order, get the heads all facing the right way. It's like an OCD thing with me. Well, I used to do that here. Be out in the market, be out in the plate, just get all my money, pull all this money, big wad of money out of my pocket, and start organizing. And people are like, hmm? Whoa, 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 Americano, rich Cano, rich Americano, boom, you know. Then they start planning. Who are we going to send to meet the rich Americano? They get the cutest girl in the family to come befriend you, and she's friendly and this and that. If she's got a little girl, little 5 or 6 year old girl, before you know it, the little girl is calling you Daddy Dave, Daddy Jimmy, because that's really solidifying the hook on your heartstrings, and then all that stage is set. It's all being orchestrated and conducted. Then comes the ask. Here comes the ask. What's the ask? Oh, Daddy Bruce, so-and-so needs some dental work. It's like, and you look at her, she's got like teeth rotting out of her mouth. It's like she's needed dental work her whole life, and you're just now asking it because of me, right? Or you'll get, my son needs medicine, or needs to go to the hospital, needs x-rays, has double pneumonia, polio, cancer, brain tumors, brain hemorrhaging, legs were amputated by a combine. You name it, they're going to come up with it. And then they're going to promise you'll get your money next payday. And you're not going to get it. And then if you dare to ask, they're going to say, why are you bothering me? I told you I don't have it. We're poor people. We don't have it. And I'm thinking, well, you should have thought of that before you borrowed it and promised me to pay it back, right? Number 2, do not be in a relationship with a Filipina that does not have a job. And I don't mean a job that she's online selling produce or selling jewelry or selling. No, that is bullshit. It's side hustle, grifter type shit. And before you know it, she's not going to have any money. Well, I need money for this. Well, where's your money from work? Oh, I didn't make any money this week. Why not? Well, you didn't sell anything. I didn't have any inventory. Can you lend me money for inventory? So you see how it just compounds itself. Once you are identified as that two-legged ATM machine, there is no limit to the ploys, the tactics, the reasons that they're going to ask you for money. There's no limit. So if you can't find a Filipina that has a job, and I mean a legitimate job where they punch a clock, they go to a location and they work, the location takes taxes out of their paychecks, they get direct payment to their bank account every 2 weeks. If you can't find a girl like that, do not enter into a relationship with that individual. Don't do it. Don't do it. You are going to find yourself in so much trouble. So much trouble. I promise you. It may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, but it might be down the road a little bit, it might be a month, it might be 6 months, who knows? Don't do it. And if you're online, you guys, in this LDR bullshit, if you're online with a girl and you're talking to her online and she's asking you for money, guys, I promise you, there's at least 1 or 2 other guys online that she's getting money from as well. This is not a unique situation because you're in a relationship with this person. This is just the grifter's ploy. This is how they make a living. This is their career, the grift. Don't flaunt your money in any way whatsoever. Don't flash your money. Don't be in a relationship with a person that does not punch a time clock. I don't care what it is. Don't do it. Unless you are some rich American and you just don't care about throwing your money away, then by all means, have at it. Go throw your money away. Just throw some my way while you're at it, And you know what they do? There's this saying now, amongst the Filipinas. And you see it online too. It's only the broke Americans that complain about money. It's the broke Americans that complain at people asking for money. And so what they're trying to do is intimidate you and encourage and entice you and antagonize you to pulling out your wallet and proving them wrong. And I've done it too. No, it's the broke Americans. They're the only ones. It's only the Americans that don't have money that complain about people wanting money from them. Where are we? Don't flash your money. Don't flaunt your money. Don't be in a relationship with anybody that does not work. This money is your money. You worked your whole life for this money. That girl didn't work a day for your money. I don't care how much she wants to spread her legs for you. I don't care how beautiful she is, how cute she is, how funny she is. Any of that. I don't care. I don't care how good the sex is. This girl did not work a day for your money. If you're a veteran, that girl didn't wear a uniform for your money. You wore the uniform. You endured the harshness of being in the military. You have the battle scars. You have the physical scars for that money, not her. This is your money. That's why it's going into your bank account, not hers. Learn to say no. The only way you're going to survive this whole situation here in the Philippines is not being a nice guy. Yeah, there's plenty of time. You can be the nice guy, but you know what? When it comes to money, you can be the asshole. You have to be the world's biggest asshole when it comes to money. Otherwise, you're going to go bankrupt. And you know what? You're going to be one of the Americans down in the southern Philippines sleeping in the alleyway because you're homeless. Mark my words. Learn to say no. Learn to say no. No is the most beautiful word in the English language. And then there's going to, if that ever happens to you, when you recover from that, you're going to have other Filipinas that come alongside of you. Like, I'm really sorry about what so-and-so did to you. And they're going to become your friend. You're going to say, wow, this is really nice. Because emotionally, you're on the rebound, right? But instead of rebounding sexually like men normally do, you're going to rebound financially. And you're going to start giving this new girl money. And you're going to be right back in the same situation all over again. It was a horrible experience for me the first few months here in the Philippines. I was broke. I was in a house all alone. I had no idea how to even navigate the town. I had no idea how to get a jeepney, no idea how to get a tricycle. I didn't even know which way to walk outside of my house to go anywhere. I didn't know where the marketplace was. I didn't understand the money. She completely left me broke, emotionally broke and busted, and I was on a deserted island in a foreign country where I did not speak the language. Now my Tagalog is unti-unti. Salamat po. Don't let this happen to you guys. Don't let it happen. I don't care how nice she seems. I have guys through my TikTok page that are texting me day in and day out. I met this girl, what do you think? Ba, 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 ba. I said, run. Dude, run. But she seems so nice. Run. Dude, she's gorgeous. She's on TikTok. She's doing all this nice little dancing moves and little cutesy moves and everything like that. No, she's a grifter. She is a grifter. She is conning you. And she's got 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 other guys she's doing the same thing to. And whoever gives her the most money is where she's going to direct her attention. Then she's going to attach her kid to you. Daddy Dave, Daddy Jimmy, Daddy Billy. And then she's going to use her kid to get more money from you. Grifters. That's what they are. Don't fall for it. I talk to these guys all day, and I give them my experience. I give them my testimony, and they're like, yeah, okay. You know what? They're still gonna go do it. Even a lot of you guys, you're gonna watch my video, and you're gonna say, well, that's because you're an idiot. This happened to you. It'll never happen to me. I hope and pray to God that you never regret those words if you're thinking them in your head. Fall for the wrong girl. It'll happen. I have guys through my TikTok day in and day out. Guys are sending me message. Can you check out this girl on TikTok for me? Tell me what you think. Tell me what you think. So I go on there and I'm keying in. Hey. Go on there and I'm keying in. I'm looking at the girl and I'm looking at her page and I'm reading all the comments. And I'll go back there. I said, have you ever read the interactions between her and other men? No, not really. It's like, you need to go look at that. You need to go look at that. How she's putting out these dances. Now guys are like, oh, I can marry you tomorrow. Hey, I got my retirement. I can come to the Philippines. You can come back to America with me. Therein lies another thing. Good transition. My goal was to find a girl that did not want to come to America. I don't want to take a Filipina and her children or child to America to live. I wanted to come to the Philippines to retire. I wanted to come to the Philippines to get the most bang for my buck, to retire in a nice, peaceful climate. I didn't want to come here and take on a Filipina and take her to America and get right back into the rat race again. Plus, when I look at my fiance now, I see how tight she is with her family, and it's like, I could never break that bond between her and her family. Now, I met all of her family. Her family is pretty phenomenal. They are wonderful people. I could never break that. She'd be miserable in America, So, look for a girl, if you want to retire and enjoy a nice life, move to the Philippines, retire, enjoy a nice life, live life here. It's beautiful. It's affordable. It's peaceful if you let it. And what you gain here in your spirit is much more than you can ever gain in a bank account. But you got to protect it. You have to protect it. So listen, I made this video, you guys, because not to be repeating myself, but I don't want you to go through what I went through. Okay? Don't flash your money. Don't flaunt your money. Don't hook up with a Filipina that has no job. She's got 2 kids and no job. Let me ask you something. Who's supporting them? Makes you think, doesn't it? And that's what I asked one of my last clients that I consult with, And I said, does she work? She goes, no, she doesn't have a job. She's got 2 children. Yeah. Who's supporting them? Are you supporting them? He goes, no, I'm not sending any money. I said, are you lying to me? He goes, no. Well, some guy is supporting them. And here in the Philippines, they don't pay child support. And the guys are not accountable for not paying child support. They don't care. Courts don't care. You know what the child support system is here? What everybody says? The community says child support here in the Philippines is in the form of gullible foreigners. Boom. 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 And also remember that divorce is not legal here in the Philippines. It's not allowed. They're in the process of making it legal, but it is so cost prohibitive. Many of these girls are previously married. And seeing that the Philippines does not honor divorce, you can't marry them. They're married. That's why they want to come to America. So they can get married to you, hook your money, divorce you, kick you to the curb. They live in your house with 2 or 3 kids. You're broke. You're broke paying child support and alimony to some Filipina girl you brought to America that you don't even know. Mince on those apples for a little bit. And you think that doesn't happen, ladies and gentlemen? Do you actually think that does not happen? Oh, yes, it does happen. Because the Filipinos know the court system in America is more against the man than here in the Philippines. Guys, please listen to me. Listen to my words. Take heed of my words. Look at my testimony. Look at my story that I've only told you a little bit of. We've only scratched the surface. But the point being of this whole thing The point being is that you need to protect your money. Let me say it again. You need to protect your money. Your money. It's nobody else's money. Please protect your money. Learn to say no. Don't be afraid to be an asshole. Don't be embarrassed or intimidated by somebody saying it's only broke Americans that care about people wanting their money. You have nothing to prove to anybody.